Well, thank you so much for joining us, Anna Maria. Tell us right now, where are you? Because you are living out the life of a digital nomad currently.
Yes, hi Tara, hi all. Yes, I'm currently in Romania, in Bucharest. So yeah, I'm actually often in Balkans area. I think that's like a good area to be in as a digital nomad, especially in European summer, because it's like high season here in Europe. So the price is like, if you travel, are very high in southern, eastern, western Europe and southern Europe. And Balkans is actually, I would say, it's like a hidden gem because it's quite undiscovered and not so many people travel here. Then you just get like better experience and much better cost of life.
So you're in a hotel right now.
Yes, it's actually an like hotel apartment. So yes, that for instance, right? If I lived in the past in Barcelona or in Lisbon, and if you try to live like in a room or apartment in a hotel, the price would be prohibitive. That's one thing that when you come to these countries that are that's actually geo arbitrage, the people like earning in euro or dollars, but then spending the money in the areas that have much better cost life balance.
How many weeks or months do you stay at one location?
That really depends. Usually at least a few weeks. It's good if you can to stay like maybe 2 or 3 months to get like to know the local people and local culture and explore a little bit more. Also like establish your routines. That's important. If you change too often, it may be hard to to stay productive, to stay healthy, and also to stay like connected to people.
So why do you feel it is a good option for people who want to work but not settle in one place?
Well, so for me personally, I always wanted to travel more, and having like just 1 month for travel in the whole year was like never enough. So for people that really want to explore much more, I think that nomadism is an interesting option. There is actually like nomad village in Madeira, Portugal island, and a journalist once described it as an Erasmus but with more money. So, and in some way it reflects the idea, right? Because people they travel, so they keep that curiosity about the world. They keep meeting new people, they keep discovering places and experiences, but at the same time they can continue working like or in their daily job, or maybe they even have their own business. So it doesn't has to be like or one or other, you can have both.
You call yourself a digital nomad ambassador. What does that mean? How do you explain that to people?
Yes, so actually it started last year. I was chosen like a Zagreb digital nomad ambassador in Croatia. And basically it was like to help the country to design the strategy to bring more people, especially to the city of Zagreb, like what they need to know, and to make the destination attractive, to bring more nomads. And then at the same time it's also like promoting the destination for nomads, making like people aware, because many people travel to known destinations, but right now there are like many emerging nomad destinations that they are not that known. They may often offer like much better like cost life balance. They may be more interesting, but they are just not known, right? So it's the same like with the company. When they have a new product, it needs the marketing. So people are still unaware. Sometimes like they also may be a bit afraid to go somewhere new because they don't know if internet works there, if it's a safe country, if they will meet other nomads. And they also have to be sure they can make they work properly in that place. So people usually look to travel to places that some other nomads traveled already before, and check that everything works, that infrastructure is in place. So for me, I actually also like try to travel to the places that are less known, to discover them, and then like show other people they can also go there. Like the last winter, for instance, I was in Cape Verde, which is absolutely new as a nomad destination. And many people are still afraid because it's Africa, right? So they afraid like, will the internet work? Will I be safe? Will I meet other nomads there? And someone basically has to start and go and start building the community, start showing other people that there is a new place when they can also go. Because the goal of nomading is also, I would say, a part of just traveling to the places that maybe are known, but also discovering, right? Having that curiosity and exploring new.
What are some of the other hidden gems that digital nomads may not realize are great options?
Yeah, so I definitely think in Africa there are countries that it's just not a place, right, where people would travel yet. In but in Africa, I think like South Africa and Cape Verde in particularly. Then in Eastern Europe, I think that's also quite unknown. People usually go to South Europe, but Eastern is like a little bit still. Balkans are absolutely unknown. And then I think like in South America, you really have many places, but people all usually go to right now or Colombia or Mexico. So they are like new countries on the list, like for instance, Brazil, that was not yet on the map, but they are starting, or Argentina, right? That's not that explored or that known yet. People travel a lot to the places where other nomads are, to the point that some people even say they don't even travel between the destinations, they travel between communities, right? Yeah, so that's like super important part, but not many people want to travel to the place when they would be alone and without other remote workers or nomads. But at the same time, someone has to be the first one in a new destination, right? Someone has to go, someone has to start like showing others that's a good place to work from, and someone has to start building that community and organizing events.
What are the best practices you share for being a digital nomad who works remotely?
I think like first thing, like once the people have like their job or their own business, because that's something that they need to have first settled, like what their income comes from. Then if it's like very beginning for someone, I would go maybe somewhere that's not very different, like culturally, and not very far, like just like, short experience, maybe for 1 month. And I would rather go where other nomads are. So you don't have to reinvent the hill. You just join the community, and then you're gonna learn from other people how they manage their day, how they manage to stay healthy. Because they are like three areas, I believe, that we need to think and take consideration like long term. First is like professional, which will be how we make sure we are productive when we are all the time traveling. The second is like how we keep, our friendships and connections, like how we keep a good, fulfilling social life. And the third one is health, because we are changing all the time. So like our routines are all the time changed, right? Like the diet, the exercise, or even the sleeping routine if you change the time zone. So we have to be conscious that more freedom comes with more responsibility. And maybe like where you were in the office, so in certain way or your manager or your colleagues or the office setting would help you to be more productive, because you had like one place where you go and you work, right? But now being productive is actually your full responsibility, because you are on the road. There is nobody to watch for you. Often there is actually not even anybody to help you, that you choose that option, right, to do that and for being productive, I think big part is actually on knowing yourself, like where you actually work best, right? For some people, it may be at home. Like, I like to work in my apartment because I can focus and nobody disturbs me. There is no noise. I like that. But some people, they feel lonely when they work like the whole day from their apartment. And for them, then it's better to find like some co-living or co-working and work from there. So this is very personal. And then to be like the most productive, you need to know what's best for you, right? That also, I think, depends a little bit on what job you have and what's your personality. And for health, I still think that like because you need to set proper routines, like maybe you want to join like local gym, or maybe you want to join people that go running or whatever. But for that, you need to stay at least like 2 months, 3 months, because if you're gonna change like every 2 weeks, it's gonna be very hard for you to keep routine. So one good thing is just not to move too often, like at least 1 month in one place. But if it can be 2 or 3, even better. And social life, I think it's very important, because it's actually number one challenge that Nomad list on many surveys, that they feel lonely. So this is like over any other challenge. And yeah, like you leave your ecosystem, right? Like you are not in the office, but then you also leave like your family or friends at home, and that needs that you need to build like a new connections. You have to stay connected to those friends. And one thing is, of course, to join all these events that are available, to look for them, or if they are not there, to organize your own. But it's also important that we need to maintain those connections, because if you always meet like new people and spend time with new people, company is not the same as connection. Yeah. And some people, when they are traveling long term, they realize, okay, I know lots of people, but I don't have a good friends, right? So it's also super important that you follow up on those connections, like you keep like the friends that you had before you became a nomad in your place. You put like some time and space to visit maybe your family or best friends and spend some time with them. And actually, as a nomad, I think if you really want and commit, you can spend even more time with your family. Because if I had to take the holidays, right, to go to Poland to visit my family, that could be at best 1 month, or at best, right? But as a nomad, I can go there and stay 3 months or 6 months if that's something I want to do, right? And I can be close, because that doesn't interfere with my work. But it's important, I think, not to get like too distracted maybe by the options that you have in a new place. It's I would call it like a conscious life design, actually. Like, that above everything else, you need to keep your friendship. Even the friends that are not nomads, they stay in different places, so you think how to visit them, how to spend some time with them, maybe have calls, remote calls. And with nomads, if you meet like-minded people, then meet with them again, like follow up, like try to go together to a new destination. Don't just leave it and hope that in the next destination you're gonna meet new people, because the connection for us to be, I think, interesting, it has to be deepened.
Those are all great tips. Thank you for that advice. One last question. Of all the places you've traveled, what is your most favorite?
Yeah, that's that's always tricky one, because it's really hard for me to have just one place. It really depends on the moment of life. Generally, I would say that in Europe, my favorite countries is probably like Portugal, Italy, and Croatia as of now. There are some that I may change my mind. In South America, it may be still Brazil, and in Africa, it will be Cape Verde, but that may change. I have not visited all the countries yet.
Well, thank you so much to Anna Maria, a digital nomad ambassador. We really appreciate your time and your guidance.
Thank you so much, and good luck.